We're back. SwamiLee's Sports Talk. I'm SwamiLee.
I am Mad Mike.
And we are going to do something that's going to make us both want to jump off a bridge. And Mike, what is that?
Does it involve talking about the 2021 Phillies?
That would make anyone want to jump off a bridge. Ugh. I don't even know where to start. Aside from the total embarrassment and how pathetic this team is. Other than that, I'll let you start because I don't even know where to start.
Okay, well, I'll be the contrarian. Let's look at the positives. That will take about 8% of our show, so be prepared with backup topics. They're getting Zach Eflin back this weekend, and word is he looks good.
Okay.
Ranger Suarez is slowly developing into a good third or fourth starter.
Okay. I'm waiting. Okay, here you go. You ready?
Freddie Galvis is back.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
wonderful.
happy.
I'm happy to see him back also, but by no means is that a big deal to this team. This will make very little impact on this team. But yes, I'm happy to see him back. I always like players coming back, so I got no problem with that. So here you go. I'm going to add to you. You ready?
I gave you 3 positives. Do you have any more you want to add?
You ready? Positive number 1 for me. Luke Williams is going to be a great utility player. They found a great young, cheap utility player. Nick Maton, a young, cheap utility player. That's great. So for the Major League minimum, they got 2 guys for the next 2-3 years that are role players. Those are strong positives. Okay? Rafael Marchand still looks like he is going to have value. They may be able to trade him at some point in time. Okay? Chase Anderson is on the team, so that's not a good thing. That being said, Kyle Gibson, they actually got value at the trade deadline after the debacle last year. So that's a positive.
It is.
And I'm just about out. I got nothing. They're losing again today, by the way. It's currently middle of the Rays game. They're down 3-1. 2 unearned runs, and then just somebody just hit a home run. So they're going to lose another one.
And in Zach Wheeler, I think it was Wheeler's last start where Brad Miller didn't get charged with an error, although it was clearly a mental mistake, which led to 2 or 3 early runs.
Speaking of Brad Miller, talk about a player exposed. Okay? You want to play this guy like once a week and let him pinch hit the rest of the time. He hasn't hit since Hoskins went on the DL. At some point in time, you bring up somebody else because the dude can't hit right now.
Which, of course, goes to one reason they're bad, which is that they don't really have anyone better to bring up.
But
do they?
Give Matt Verling a first baseman glove, okay? I mean, he can't be any worse right now than Brad Miller. Brad Miller is a valuable bat off the bench. I mean, I'm not doing this to downgrade Brad Miller. They're asking of him what he is not good enough to do, and that is play every day. So there's a reason that he is available as a free agent for so little money this year. By the way, have you seen the batting averages of some of these guys? That the DL players and the players that have been going up back and forth to the minor leagues. Have you seen them?
I have.
Have you seen Matt Joyce? You know Matt Joyce was batting when he went on the DL? IL, excuse me, it's the IL. Do you know who he's batting?
No.
100. 100. 5 for 50. Okay? Roman Quinn, before he went on the DL, IL, excuse me again, 173. Mickey Moniak, who of course we saw his first Major League home run, 103. Adam Hazley, 190. Scott Kingery, 053. And, excuse me, what is up with Jorge Bonifacio even being on this roster for 3 days? Who thought that was a good idea?
I'll go Dave Dombrowski.
Just bring out Matt Verling. I mean, you tell me Jorge Bonifacio is better than Matt Verling? I don't think so. This team is god-awful. Okay? I don't even know what to say anymore about this team. It used to be, okay, they only have 3 pitchers. But now they have 4 pitchers, and they have no offense. I don't mean they have a mediocre offense. They have no offense. I scored more in high school than the Phillies do. Okay. Let's be honest. We all know that's a lie. But you get the idea. Seriously.
Yes.
I mean, Travis Jankowski is playing every day. Talk about being exposed. The backup catcher is hitting 153.
But he calls a great game.
I don't care. Bob Boone could hit 153 today. And he called a much better game. And who decided to give Didi Gregorius 2 years? Whose Einstein idea was it giving Didi Gregorius 2 years? They got like 8 shortstop prospects. And of course, he can't hit. I don't know.
But it seems that none of those prospects are Major League ready, or they wouldn't have brought back Freddie Galvis.
Nick Maton. And again, I know he's not the future. I'm not saying that. But
you know what? If he becomes their regular shortstop, then in 3 weeks you're going to be saying about him what you just said about Brad Miller. Exposed.
Yeah, but he's not making $15 million a year with Didi hitting 215. I mean, it's with a 78 OPS plus. I'm not a big sabermetrics guy, but I know a 78 OPS plus is not very good. I mean,
I'll take you at your word.
Well, 100 is average. And we haven't even talked about Alec Boehm. Oh my God. What? How do you just forget how to hit?
Well, Joe Cowley forgot how to pitch.
That was a horrendous trade from the start. Gary Redus was the man. Okay? So, Cowley never played again in the major leagues after that short stint in Philly.
Well, who would give him a shot?
It was brutal. It was just brutal. But so the positives this season, Ranger Suarez looks like he could be at least a number 3, number 4 starting pitcher. I'm good with that. They have Kyle Gibson for next year. He's a number 4, number 5. I mean, by next year. He's probably a 3-4 right now, but I'm thinking long term. So you have Wheeler, Nola, Suarez, and Gibson. That's a solid number 1 through 4. And
Eflin is certainly going to be a good 4 or 5 starter.
One more time?
Eflin will certainly be a good 4 or 5.
They've got 5 starting pitchers now, even though they may not all be healthy right now. Okay. The bullpen is not as bad as last year, which is kind of funny to say that because it's impossible to be as bad as last year. But, that being said, yeah, and they did get rid of a lot of the really crazy ERAs, like Kinsler's 6.37 and what's his face, the really, really bad one. Oh, God, Hale. Oh, he was the worst. 6.41 doesn't tell you how bad David Hale was. Who
you're right.
That? Who said, let's give David Hale a contract?
That was Matt Klentak.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Oh, by the way, do you know that the Dodgers just DFA'd Neftali Phillies?
Didn't we have him for a
2 games.
Cancel stint?
2 games. 4 runs in 1 inning of work over 2 games. And just to let you know, he had 1 shutout inning as a Dodger. So he didn't give up any runs in his 1 inning as a Dodger, but gave 4 with the Phillies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he had 1 shutout inning and 4 really crappy innings, but
no,
I guess not.
So, in conclusion, because we're running out of time, and I guess this isn't really talking about the Phillies, it's just me ranting about them, which is okay sometimes. I still like J.D. Hammer, although I think he could be a piece of the bullpen. Ian Kennedy has been okay so far with his 5.63 ERA, but a lot of that was in the beginning. But a lot of the pitchers they brought up, Sanchez looked bad, Yovera looked bad. Of course,
Santos was nothing special.
Oh, he's awful.
He's gone, isn't he?
Enyel is just sent to the minors.
Yes.
Then there's the moron Bailey Falter. The guy could have cost himself a career by not getting a shot. He missed a month that he could have been in the major leagues because he had COVID. I mean, I'm sorry. Just a moron. Anyway.
And then he claimed that. Who was it who said that the vaccination caused or was Falter the one who said, because we can't use that goop anymore on the ball, I hurt my neck?
No, it was Kinsler. I think it was Kinsler. Was it not? One of them was whining about that. I found it very humorous that he was whining about that. But, They're terrible. They're terrible. So anyway, bottom line, and we've already wasted our entire show, but that's okay. The bottom line, Mike, is this team is going nowhere. They may or may not finish ahead of the Mets. There's no way they're going to beat the Braves, and they don't deserve it. They lost 3 to Arizona in a row. They got swept by Arizona, and they couldn't hit.
Yep.
That's all I have to say. I've been talking this whole time because I'm so irritated. You can have the last word.
I'm going to end on a shocking note. You know who else is proving to be a good piece in the bullpen? Hector Neris. Now that he's not being used in tough situations, he's proving to be reasonably reliable in the 6th inning in a non-stress situation.
I don't trust him is the real problem. But you know what? His whip is solid. His home runs allowed is solid. His walks are a little high, but they're not crazy high. But I don't trust him. It's just his ERA is even decent. I just don't trust him at the end of the day. But, I'll leave you with this thought. Archie Bradley, the guy that blew the game yesterday, it looks like he's having a pretty good year. He's 7-2 with a 3.12. But his whip is over 1.4. He's walking over 4 batters per inning. I'll say goodbye to Archie. 4 per inning
or 4 per 9?
Per 9. I'm sorry, per 9. Archie, I'm going to wave goodbye to you after the season, okay? It was nice. Don't forget to write. So
I think the good Mr. Dombrowski disagrees with you, but we'll see.
Brutal. Anyway, folks, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk about, more interesting things about the Phillies than just moaning about them, but I'm sorry. This team is pathetic, and they ought to be ashamed of themselves. Shame on all of you. There probably aren't 5 of you on the roster that should be proud of their performance in the year 2021. Bryce Harper, Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez. I'm thinking
Ronald Torreyes.
But when it's a utility player, you shouldn't be too excited. Even Real Munoz hasn't had a really good year. I wouldn't. He wasn't bad.
Well, although I want this guy gone when his contract's up, I'd say that they're getting good value for Segura this year.
Segura still hasn't been Gene Segura, which is the real problem I have with him. He came here as a 300 hitter every year. I don't know what happened. He just forgot how to hit.
He's hitting at least 295 now.
291 to be exact. But that's okay.
Oh.
Again, it could be worse. But anyway, Mike, we've run out of time. I'm sorry I ranted and raved the entire time. But we will be back sometime soon. SwamiLee's Sports Talk. I'm SwamiLee.
I am Mellow Mike.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.